Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Anime Watch Club, a bi-weekly group discussion and review where the hosts of the What You Say Anime podcast nominate and vote on shows either we haven't seen or shows that hopefully lead to a great discussion. On today's episode, the Volturi Fan Club will be reviewing the 2010 anime, The Twilight Saga, Eclipse. Let's meet today's lively and super energetic cast. First up, I don't think he's been on an episode for like 6 weeks, and he got a new old mic. We got Miles. Miles, how's it going?
It's going well. I also got a new set of pipes in my house, and that was expensive. So that was fun.
Hell yeah. Congrats on the new pipes, my man. And our number one Twilight super fan, Pat.
Yes, my favorite. Love this bit. Can't wait to do it again next year, potentially. Who knows? It might not win the vote next year. We'll see. I'm guessing it will, though. But yes, we are watching.
There's one vote, and it's me.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Glad someone got the joke there. At least there we go. That makes two of us. But oh man, we're talking about Twilight Eclipse. I believe it was 2010, right? I think, right? 2010, rated PG-13, done by Studio.
Legendary Films.
What would the studio be? I guess in theory,
is it not Legendary Films?
Yeah, maybe Legendary Films. We're gonna go with that. Written by Stephanie Meyer. Did I remember that correctly?
Yep.
Meyer, but yeah,
sure. We don't respect her, so
okay.
Mormon lady. Yeah. Themes of supernatural fantasy, teen adventure, teen fantasy, teen romance, who done it, action, adventure, drama, fantasy, and mystery. Who done it, apparently, because who done Bella, I guess, in theory. I don't know. Like
I don't know. I wish this was a who done it.
Yeah, right.
That would be neat.
It's what IMDb says. It's not my fault. Blame Mal, like we always do. But yeah, let's do our first impressions of this anime. Pardon me. Pete, what are your first impressions, and would you recommend the Twilight Saga Eclipse? And also, I guess, did you watch it before this?
Did I watch Eclipse before this?
I know your answer. I'm asking.
Of course I watched this movie before. How dare you? Twilight, I know I mentioned that Pat is the Twilight super fan, but it's actually me, and I love this franchise to a point. But there comes to a point where you kind of need to stop doing the bit. And Eclipse, for the Twilight films, I think it's like the worst of them all. I think it loses a little bit of the gusto from me after I stopped. I guess this came out when I was in college, so it kind of lost like the teen feel that I had. And then rewatching it as a grown-ass man, it is continuing to be a terrible film. So I would not recommend this. I guess you kind of have to, because it's, if you're watching all of Eclipse, if all of Twilight, you kind of have to watch it. But I don't know. I feel like you could like do the cliff notes of this movie and then just jump into Breaking Dawn, but we'll discuss more later. But I would not recommend this film.
Maybe you'd recommend like watching the CinemaSins video of this movie.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like a recap movie YouTube guy that could give you like the cliff notes in like a 12-minute YouTube. That would probably be enough.
If there is one out there, it would be done by Man of Recaps, who does.
I love Man of
videos.
Recaps. Yes,
he's the goat.
I love Man of Recaps.
His shirt with the fake bow tie or like full suit. Oh, I love that guy. It's very good.
Funny you said you brought that up. I watched his recap of Suits. I've watched all of it, and then I decided to watch Suits because of it, even though I know what's going to happen. So, not the Man of Recaps.
I watched Euphoria without any spoilers or knowing anything about the show. The first episode aired last night or a couple nights ago for us in the past, I suppose. And I had no idea who the characters were or anything. I went in blind, sitting next to Ashley. And then I watched a Man of Recaps video last night to like see what I missed or couldn't deduce from the first episode. There's a good amount of stuff that I probably missed.
Makes sense when you skip 2 seasons of a show.
Yeah, it helped. Well, I thought it added to my experience, though, too, of enjoying Euphoria, being like, oh, I don't have any emotional attachment to these characters. So, like, I don't know. Maybe it helps me see more clearly how no, the actors are still trying. People are just dumb online. I've seen a lot of discourse around that. But yeah, let's just circle back to Twilight. Miles, what are you thinking of Twilight? What are your thoughts on your recommendations for it, or specifically Eclipse?
Yeah, so some say the world will end in fire, and others say in ice. 1 second, let me get to my page. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire, but if I had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to know that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. Robert Frost. Fun fact, I am kind of named Miles in honor of Robert Frost.
What?
Sort of, depending on how you look at it. So I gotta say, in some ways, this is the worst Twilight movie. And Pete was saying that if you keep going, eventually the fun ends. But other times, if you drink like one more beer,
Yep.
I
like where this is
right
going.
There. 99% of gamblers stop before they hit the jackpot. And what I gotta say is, I think at this point I'm having fun. You know what I mean? Like, we're just having fun here. This movie isn't great, but like I've acclimated enough to what this series is. The series does not change its stripes, and I shouldn't expect it to. And at this point, I can just sort of enjoy the ride. I can enjoy that they finally gave Taylor Lautner that haircut. And they have that scene that's entirely focused on the fact that he got a haircut and like worked out a fuck ton. And like, that's fun. Would I recommend this? Yeah. What I would say is skip the first two movies. Okay.
Ooh.
And just watch Eclipse. You'll figure it out. It's fine.
You're probably right.
Really? Are we sure?
I feel like you could probably piece the story together pretty well.
Eclipse is only bad because it's retreading everything that happened in the first two movies.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Right? But if you skip those, it's not retreading anything.
That was my issue the whole time. I watched the first two movies. Oh, how dumb of me.
Yeah. In the same way that I suggested, oh god, what was that show where I had like the awful take that I was just like, ignore the first episode of the show.
You got, Rakugo Shinju.
Yeah. This is like that, but like less of a bit. Like still a bit, but less of one.
I love it.
Hi, I did not know that the director for Twilight Eclipse, David Slade, did several episodes of Hannibal, which is one of my favorite TV shows I've ever watched, and one of Ashley's as well. He also directed a Breaking Bad episode, apparently.
What Breaking Bad episode?
Which one?
Not Ozymandias or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
Open House episode, season 4, episode 3. So probably when, spoiler, Jesse does what to his parents. So yeah, that must, out of context, it sounds worse than it actually is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like that might have made it seem a little worse.
Yeah, well, that's why it's a spoiler free, right? No spoiler. There we go. To talk more about Twilight, I don't know. I watched this movie and it happened and it exists and it's a movie. It like takes itself seriously while also not at the same time, which I find impressive. And where did all the budget go for this movie? That's what I want to understand too, because like there's so many scenes where it just is poorly edited, or just, and the writing is really bad in my opinion in terms of like the flow of the story. It does end in a pretty cool shebang, but it's just not. This was the least enjoyable out of the three for me, at least, and it's also my first time watching it, so maybe that's why. Maybe I would enjoy it more on a second viewing. Probably not.
Yeah, you have to lie to yourself here.
I'm trying to see all sides here. I'm just not getting it all. But yeah, let's discuss spoilers for Twilight Eclipse. Do they even show an eclipse, by the way? Oh my god.
No, but they also don't show, like, I mean, like the next one's called Breaking Dawn. I'm sure we see Dawn at some point, but like that's actually fundamentally irrelevant to these vampires, right? Like that would normally hold some sort of significance, but it doesn't. Nor would an eclipse, frankly. My
thought was that it might be a solar, like maybe it blocks out their powers for the night. Like what's her name can't see the future. But they're all fucking like, if you want to see our opinion on the power system in this, check out the first two episodes. And if you want the TLDR, it's there's literally no downside to being a vampire in this world. They have made it so that
just makes you hot and good at stuff.
True.
And immortal.
And like, I guess you uncontrollably crave human blood, but like not enough so that you have to do it. So like, whatever. Like,
Well, yeah.
if you're a dick, you'll eat humans, but like if you're not, you won't. So, but I figured out why it has the tag of whodunit. I'm looking at the summary here, and it is danger once again surrounds Bella as a string of mysterious killings terrorize Seattle, and a malicious vampire continues her infernal quest for revenge. And then amid the tumult, she must choose between Edward and Jacob, and her decision might ignite a long simmering feud between vampire and werewolf. Very exciting. So the reason that I forgot this was a whodunit is because they immediately show you who's doing the killings.
Yes.
I was about to say, the first scene. The first scene is who's doing it. Like,
yeah. So you don't. Yeah, they're not that mysterious. They're mysterious for our characters, and that's fine. But like, I still want to call it a whodunit. You know what I mean? Like, you're allowed to get some dramatic irony going on. Like, that's fine. But like, I want to call it that. Yeah. So, God, there are so many places to start. You know, so one thing, you know, as usual, we had some viewers submit questions for this, and one thing I think that's important to note is all the questions are also the type of questions you would ask for movie 1 and movie 2, and frankly, movie 3 or 4 and 5. Once we get to those, you know, it's like, oh, is the relationship between Bella and Edward healthy? No. Then why is it the way it is? Because it's hot, but like, it's not healthy. So whatever. Like, you know, it's in the same way that Fruit Baskets thought it would be a good idea to have a middle schooler marry a teacher. This thought it would be a good idea to have a 90-year-old marry fucking Kristen Stewart. There are some themes running on here about some Christian themes about sex before marriage. I thought that was pretty interesting. That's actually a topic I kind of want to bring up because Edward really wants to, you know, follow that rule, and that's fine because he doesn't want Bella's soul to get in trouble because she still has one. But he does agree to turn her after, which in his worldview leads to eternal damnation. And so I thought that was a little interesting.
The ones we love.
Yeah,
we send our loved ones to eternal damnation.
Yeah, and like not to say, you know, that someone can't have that view of, you know, premarital sex or whatever, but it does seem odd to me that you would make a big deal about it if your next action post that is to eternally damn their soul anyway. I think that's the first thing we have to talk about. What the fuck is Edward thinking? Why is this written into the plot? What purpose does this serve? It seems contradictory.
I'll play devil's advocate. I'll bounce back just a little bit because we're shown that Edward is a little bit more traditional. Like he talks about his values, where if he was courting, he uses the word court and not date. So if he was courting Bella in his original time frame, like he's talking about how he would take her out on a date, he would ask her father to hold her hand and stuff like that, where it's like really traditional values, I would say, little old school values. And I think it makes sense in his character. I guess I didn't interpret it as a religious thing, which, knowing the context of the author, it does make more sense that you mention it that way. But I think with his character, I guess I interpreted him as like an old soul in a hot man's body.
Counterpoint to that.
They
munch face constantly throughout this show this anime. They are making out a lot. They are making out premarital hardcore. So I do see what you're in a more serious counter to what you're saying. I do agree. I think that it's more that he doesn't want to turn her. I think he's probably experienced this with someone else in the past or at some point in his life, and he doesn't. And we've seen from the backstories of more of the Cullens. The Cullens throughout this movie, how they were turned, but none of them had a good reason to be, or were happy to be turned. Right? None of them were turned for good reasons or became vampires for good reasons. It's more like they've had to come to terms with the fact that they have been turned. That was a weird sentence, but so I don't think he wants to do that to Bella either. I think he would rather just, enjoy this teen fantasy for as long as he can, and then when she dies, let her go to heaven or do whatever else. Like I don't think he wants to eternally suffer with her, I guess is his perspective on it.
Yeah, so my thought on the religious thing is he harps a lot. So like when we compare him to like Rosalie, right, who is also jealous of Bella, or like didn't necessarily want Bella to be turned because the circumstances of her turning, which was like after she was left dead after an assault by her fiance and some other guys.
Probably a little bit more than that, but yeah.
In the book, it's more than that, apparently, according to Ashley.
I was trying to be a little, I guess, like vague as to not, I don't know.
Fair.
Just bring up terms.
Fair.
Yeah. And, so she talks about like that, but Edward is very convinced that he is like a soulless monster who is going to hell. And he doesn't want to do that to Bella. That's like part of his concern. I don't know. It's a little weird sometimes because sometimes he's like all for it. And he's like, look, I know you'll never get to see your family again, but they'll die soon anyway in the grand scheme of things. And like, that was the thing he said to Bella, and she was rightfully a little upset at that.
Yeah.
Because it's a pretty...
I thought he was trying to scare her out of it, though. Wouldn't you say? Like, that was why he said that to her?
I guess,
like,
yeah, okay, that's fair.
I thought it started better, this movie, honestly, when they were talking about this stuff, because it is a fair point that, like, Bella's not thinking about. Even, it's not like, oh, she can hang out and see her mother for the next year or 2 or 3 or whatever, and then, like, her mom's going to notice immediately, like, you're not aging, like, or anyone in her life is going to be like, what's going on? Why are you still in an 18-year-old's body, for lack of better phrasing?
Like, be like, I'm a vampire. This is another thing. Who fucking...
Okay, let's circle back to that. But like the point being, that's like, yeah, she is going, like, he's thinking big picture, which is where I think is, and he's trying to essentially make sure that I think he does care for her, but he also doesn't want to show that so much that it jades her decision or influences her decision.
Yeah,
whether she turns.
I actually think Edward takes a bit of a step up as far as being controlling in this movie. Like the only thing he does that I was like, well, that's a psycho thing to do, was purposely sabotage her car so she couldn't visit Jacob. And like, admittedly, that is a psycho thing to do, but like, that's almost even a little less controlling and more like he's racist against werewolves, and like,
he hates those damn animorphs, right? Like, goddamn.
Yeah, I mean, and they hate, they've got like a feud going back because I guess, at one point in time, the vampires did a little bit of a genocide against the werewolves.
Get over it.
It's so interesting that they felt the need to write that in, by the way, because like, to me, I think it just makes sense that like a tribe of people that they're, the entire motif of most of the time of native tribes is being one with nature, coming from the earth and returning to the earth. Vampires are the antithesis of that, right? Being immortal, being not to mention preying on people traditionally or whatever, but like you would think that would be enough of a feud where they're like, yeah, you're immortal. You don't return to the earth. We do. So like, we don't like you. Like that should be enough of a conflict, but they decided to add that like other vampires. It's almost like an allegory for racism when you think about it, because it wasn't the Cullens. It wasn't the Cullens, and it probably wasn't an intentional allegory, I don't think. Again, mainly knowing the author, but
I think it's like a weird one because the lady who, just to speak over you, but like the lady who does the massacre is dressed like a colonial European, right? So it kind of seems like, they were basically like, now it's like, hey, not all white people are like that though. Like that's sort of like what it kind of feels like. The Cullens' point of view is like sorry that this happened, and like what happened was horrific, right? She murders like 90% of everyone in their tribe, and like but now they're like, hey, we're vegans, you know? It's like, okay, well,
not all vampires or whatever.
yeah. I mean, it's just like, I guess it's like a little tough, you know, where there definitely is like a bias there. And that I guess the reality of the show proves to us that it's not inherently healthy, but it's also in the same way that like I'm glad women's shelters exist, and I'm not going to go there and be like, oh, I'm not going to, you know what I mean? Like, that's just not the thing. Like, you know, they're just trying to chill and do their thing and like not, you know, they're not like attacking the Cullens or anything. They're like annoyed that they're in the area, but they're not being aggressive about it or anything.
Right.
Like, Jacob specifically is like, I want you to stay away from them because I don't like these people. I'm biased against them. And also I think you're smoking hot and want to bang. Like, you know, but like, that's not the whole group. Like, they actually immediately decide to work with them. They immediately decide to work with each other as soon as any threat. So really,
remote threat. Exactly. Well, that's why I'm like, it's like a weird racism allegory, even though like the whole purpose of it, it's like the Cullens are blamed for what the other vampires did, not what they did, right? Necessarily, which again, I would like to think maybe that was on purpose, but maybe it wasn't. Again, knowing the author, just knowing that if I didn't know about Stephenie Meyer, I would think that this movie was a lot better, I guess. I maybe that's a question to ask you guys. Are you in the same boat, or in this series, maybe I should say? Like would you know it?
You gotta wait for the fourth book. Like I know we keep doing this. I know we keep doing it. There are one, there's like the worst like plot point type of thing ever in it. That's like it's a like a literary device that I despise. In fact, I've gone on like a 20-minute rant about it on one of our previous episodes. But the other thing is, and they hint towards it early on this, but one of the things that happens is so absurd and frankly feels like character assassination on the point of the author in order to just, you know, you don't like that thing in Ruby where they didn't do a good job of making that one guy like do a slope towards being the bad guy, Armstrong or something his name is.
Oh, Ironwood. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like that, but if it was worse, I promise.
Well, because I've heard, I don't know what's happened. I accidentally clicked on a spoiler and Ashley almost killed me when you guys were talking about Breaking Dawn earlier this week in the chat, and I joined our Discord, by the way. But I still have avoided any spoiler or anything along those lines but I have heard that like the ending of Breaking Dawn Part 2 is just batshit insane, or that there is a moment that is just so unbelievably either out of character or just ridiculous that it completely ruins the movie and franchise for people.
Yeah. Part of it
I
that
am
it's
so
not even
excited
a
for.
character. Yeah, it's not even a character choice. It is something that happens due to the intrinsic nature of it. Anyways, you know, there's a lot to be said about what Stephenie Meyer has already written, right? And like, I think up to this point, and you guys can talk to me, there is like, obviously it's like abusive, but like I personally don't mind in fantasy having some relationships that are unhealthy because I don't know, it's a good way to explore and think about things, and it leads to these conversations. And you know, I like toxic women, right? So like if someone likes toxic men, like whatever, you know what I mean? Like it's not how it manifests for me in real life.
Like Edward's not that bad as a person.
Oh yeah.
I don't think like from what I remember from this movie, other than like you said, I think he's going about his situation as well as he probably could. I guess is maybe a way that I would rephrase what I just said, because obviously he's still a vampire and a parasite and blah 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 blah. But like,
well, he does do the like, I'll kill myself if you don't like. Oh no, Bella.
My
does
life
that.
is nothing.
Yes, you do that. They both do it. They both do it.
Yeah.
They're not in a very healthy relationship.
No.
And I'm not going to say that makes him like a bad person, because like people can be in toxic relationships and get out of them and improve themselves. But like, I also do think, and like, I think you have to sort of put this to the side, and I'm happy doing it with like a lot of like vampire bullshit or whatever. But it's just like, he is like 100 and Bella is 70.
That's a fair point. Yeah, I was kind of already internalizing that that's put to the side, but you're right though. That is objectively probably the worst thing about him, right? Is the fact that he's even entertaining the idea that he could be in a relationship like this, or that this.
Yeah,
could
but
be
the
a
way
thing.
that
I
it,
disagree
the
on
way
that.
the way that
like
love is.
go ahead.
I was gonna say the way that like love is written in this, in multiple ways, but it's not a choice. It's not written as a choice that people have in any way. Not in the sense that like you can't, like, oh, I'm in love with someone that I shouldn't be in love with, my student, my whatever, some sort of thing. And so I'm gonna lay off, I'm gonna work through that internally, and I'm not gonna act on it, right? Like that's what I mean by choice. This like the way Stephanie writes this, we're on first name basis, is is that it is like imperative that without the random fate determined person, right, that you cannot exist. Like that's how she views true love, right? Or at least that's how this universe views it. And you see that when they talk about the werewolf thing with the imprinting, where the one guy is just like, yeah, I was dating this girl, but then literally nature told me that I am meant to be with this person forever, and we are intrinsically tied to each other, like supernaturally, and it has to be. And he's just lucky that wasn't a 12-year-old. Like, so.
Or for Pat's tease, wait till next movie.
Yeah.
Or two movies from
good
now.
Lord. I'm just thinking about imprinting, and I'm thinking about what vampires, and like thinking about oh boy, we got a year. I've got a year to mentally prepare for this apparently. So, but sorry, Pete, Miles, you finished your broader point.
Pete was going to say something about the way he views like vampire. He's probably like, at some point you just have to make and I'll let Pete say it, but you have to sort of accept this is a conceit of the genre.
Yeah, 100%. Like when you're immortal, essentially, like I feel like age kind of stops.
Who are you dating?
Yeah, it kind of like the difference between like a 30-year-old and like a 60-year. I mean, the person's different, but like it doesn't bother me as much in stories like this because that's just what happens in this type of storytelling.
That's completely fair. I think especially like I just think with the context of the fact that Bella is like still a high schooler versus Edward's 100, right? Like that's where it gets a little dicey for me because like you mentioned, like, oh, a 16 or 30-year-old, a 30-year-old's capable of making their own decisions at the end of the day. Like they're not going to make the best ones, but they're capable of it versus like she's 18, man, like, or not even, right? Isn't she even younger when they first meet? Like it's kind of like, ooh, versus again, like Edward has so much experience. Like I guess I just kind of wish he was a younger vampire, if that makes sense. Like if make it a little bit more like, oh, he's only gone through high school twice or something.
But this is also, it's like it is like a young girl's or like a teenage girl's or
fantasy,
however
right?
old, like it's a fantasy, right? Like this gentlemanly from a different era that like fucking sucked, by the way. Like 1910 to 19 whatever was fucking awful. There was a world war going on. There was a massive pandemic going on. Everyone was horribly racist. It was not a good time.
Not much has changed.
I was about to say, it sounds very similar to what's going on right now.
Look, say what you want about what's going on right now. I'm not I'm not trading in for fucking the Spanish flu and World War One. That's
fair.
Not to say that it's perfect right now or that it's even good, but that particular span of 5 years wasn't great. Millions of people died. And then everyone came home, we got everyone else sick, and millions of more people died. It wasn't great. But like, it's this ideal of, older, gentlemanly, traditional values, a virtuoso at piano, but also, despite all those things, he's actually like in a certain lens still pretty young and hot, And also he's like super strong and can protect me, and he would fucking die without me. And like, in some ways, I think that fantasy is like fine as long as it's understood that it is a fantasy. You know what I mean? And then there's like a whole conversation to talk to about how well that is conveyed in the source material, which not great, but it happens. It's like it's just that sort of thing where someone like how Adam Sandler always writes his love interests to be hot women because he's like, I'm more or less just his character, and I think Jessica Alba's hot. So, yeah,
That's a good point.
It's like,
but didn't he marry one of them?
I forget.
Didn't he marry the
Adam
chick
Sandler?
Yeah, didn't he marry the chick from Billy Madison?
Did he?
I think that's his wife.
Damn.
Maybe I'm
no
mistaken.
idea.
She's in some movies with him, I'm pretty sure.
I know he has daughters. That's all I know because they were in Happy Gilmore
Jackie
too.
Sandler.
Welcome to Adam Sandler podcast.
Yeah, that's okay. So she's in a few different. She's in Just Go With It, which is that's not Jessica Alba, but I forget
Jennifer
it's
Aniston.
some. Yeah.
And Brooklyn Decker, shout out to her. I only know that because she's married Andy Roddick, and I love Andy Roddick.
Okay.
Good tennis player. There you go.
Yep. What he's known for.
He's won one major.
Last American male to do it, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
We suck at tennis.
Tiafo and Fritz and
we suck at men's tennis.
Shelton.
Yeah,
we
tennis.
kind of are okay at women's tennis right now too.
Right.
We need Serena back.
Good.
We need Serena back badly.
I mean, Coco Gauff is pretty good. What am I saying?
Not in majors though, right? Like I don't know.
Hasn't she won one?
I feel like Serena was good enough that we get to be good at women's tennis for like a little while longer.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, and expecting Coco to be Serena Williams level or Venus Williams level even is maybe unfair to her in that, and she's also still only like 21, right?
She's so young.
Like that. So like it will come with time. I wanted her to just take over the world again. But maybe she will soon.
Shout out women's tennis.
Yeah, we're talking. This is a women's tennis. Well, that's how you get like ranked, right? Didn't the tennis podcast win an award or something like that recently? The Time Top 500 podcast or something. I don't know. It was like the highest rated sports podcast.
Oh, I was too busy. I saw that we were number one. I'm like, why am I even looking down on these?
Look at the list.
Yeah, that was. Dude, we just we went to the top, and of course it was What Do You Say Anime.
Gang. At one point, the number 3 anime podcast in Indonesia. That is true. I'm not even making that up.
That's not too bad. There's a lot of people there.
Shout out to all 6 listeners in Indonesia.
Why don't we,
can I talk about a scene that pissed me the fuck off? Like really hard?
Yes, please.
Okay, so it's like in the first half of the movie, and you guys can talk about your least favorite scenes if you have one. But there's this scene where they're chasing Victoria, and like the movie is over. There's all of the Cullens are chasing after them. All of the tribe is chasing after her on the other side of the river. And then fucking what's his face was like, don't jump over the river. Don't jump over the river. That's their territory. And then he jumps over the river, and then the wolves attack him instead, or like whatever. And then they stop chasing Victoria. And like the whole point of the scene before that was like training to get ready and understanding that this is our side and that's their side. And then they just like, he just, for some reason, what's his name? What's the big beefy vampire?
Emmett.
Emmett's just like, nah, I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna jump over the river. And then just like the scene was over. I could not. Because
he's the jock.
I know, but it was so dumb. Like the scene itself was so moronic. There are 7 vampires chasing after one. And if for some reason they get away from those, or she gets away from those 7, there's 6 giant ass werewolves on the other side of the river. It's like, it's game over. So like the fact that that scene was in the movie pissed me off because it made no sense. It was terrible. It was 13 versus 1 and 1-1, and she should not have won. Oh my God, it drove me crazy. I don't know if you guys have a least favorite scene, but that was my least favorite scene in the entire movie. That and when Bella's like, fine, I'll kiss you. And then he like makes out with like Jacob, and it's just like, they're just both creaming their pants. I'm just like, this scene is so stupid. Like, I understand what.
On top of the mountain?
Yeah, like I understand why they're doing it, but I'm like, it was. I don't know. It felt like Bella was like, nah, actually, I'm Pauly now.
that shit's art. Okay,
what?
I have to say this is art.
Oh,
no, it's not.
NTR defending Miles. Narita
Dito.
Top Road's #1 fan right here.
Who?
Narita Top Row.
Oh,
from
that's the
Uber
yeah.
Musume,
Okay, yeah.
the NTR horse.
Yeah. Okay. Here is why that scene is art, and anime needs more of this. Okay, because that scene out there, that scene is for the Jacob fans. It gives you your moment. Fan. You get your moment.
No,
you get your moment.
That's not a good moment.
Not like this.
You get it.
Like we got our
right?
moment. We got the moment 5 minutes before when he got to be the one cuddling and warming her because
I like that scene too.
Edward is incapable. I liked that scene. I thought that scene was smarter and more intelligent.
I can't believe I'm getting
I know. I can't believe I'm defending
this
right
now.
Yeah,
this motherfucker is defending
this movie.
You think that was a Team Jacob movie?
Okay, so
what is wrong with you?
I like that. I'm not saying it was. You're like, oh, that seems so stupid. Of course it's stupid. It doesn't fucking matter that it's stupid. This is Twilight. We shouldn't fucking care if it's stupid.
It's pretty warm out. It's still 80 degrees out around
here. It's like 80 degrees here. Yeah.
That's what
but like it doesn't.
I'm literally sweating.
It doesn't matter if it's stupid. Like at the end of Quince, when all of the Quince kiss Futuro at different times, and you're like, oh, who's gonna win? And like they all get a kiss moment in. Sorry for that minor spoiler, Pat, but I'm sure you don't care.
That show is erased from my brain after the first season ended on a cliffhanger, so it's okay.
Show is art.
It's not bad.
Terrible ending, by the way.
Nino gang.
I know. See, but Pete, would you rather have what happened to Nino happen to? No, I don't want that. Okay.
I want Jacob to win by playing by the rules. I want him to outclass. I want him to outmatch Edward.
Look, he started by not playing by the rules, right? He's like, I'm going to kiss you, and it's going to be so awesome, you're going to forget. And she's like, no, I didn't. You're like kind of weird. He's like, fuck yeah. You know what? Honestly, in retrospect, shouldn't have done that. My bad. I'm a piece of shit. Did a good job taking accountability, right? Then he's like hanging out, and she's like, look, I want you to kiss me. What's he supposed to be like? No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shoot your fucking shot, dude. Shoot or shoot.
This is why, man, you Ichika fans need to get out. You guys are nothing but
look. First off,
poison.
I'm a Nino fan first and foremost.
True.
This is important.
But who are you a defender of?
I am a Ichika defender. But are you saying that Jacob is Ichika?
Half of her. He's half of her.
Okay.
Because he's not quite the level of snake. He's a snake.
But he's not any level of snake.
But he's not an anaconda. He's like, what's a kind of dangerous, but not super dangerous. He's like a boa constrictor. Like a newborn boa. Newborn boa.
He is a little toxic masculine with the first kiss, right? He's going in on it. He's just like, it doesn't matter. I'm so fucking hot, right? That's not a good thing to do. We all agree with that. He learns his lesson. He waits for express permission and gets it.
But he like pressured her into the whole time. It was him like pressuring her to say that. Like I never felt.
Yeah. The whole time it was Edward in it. In the context of this movie, that is hot. Now that's not hot, but in the context of this movie, Bella gets off on it.
Okay, you
can tell.
You're right. I'm actually going to change my entire stance. That you are absolutely. I need to think of it in the context of who it's being targeted towards and why they're doing it. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. That scene was great. I'm not opposed to changing my mind. You made very good points. I changed my mind. I'm Team Miles on this one.
Yeah, like obviously in a vacuum, in reality, as we are watching it, that scene is fucking stupid, right? But from like a melodrama soap opera point of view, it's fucking fine. Kiss me. Oh, okay. You're saying that you're like I value. I'm going to show you that I value our friendship so much that I'll cheat on my boyfriend, like kind of, but like not really. But like this will make you learn that like you're not him.
You know what?
And
I'm changing my my letterbox score of Eclipse right now.
Okay, I don't think it should have had that much of an effect.
It's going up to a 2.
What's it out of?
10 or 5. It's 5 stars
30.
on It's 5 stars on Letterboxd.
Okay. So it's the equivalent of like a 4. I mean, I don't know. Everyone in this. how weird is the fucking Cullen family? Like, I don't know. It's just everything about this is so weird, right? They're all like adopted children, yet they're all fucking each other, right? And like, how, like, like, Edward's the first one to like leave the family at all, but like then also she's gonna join. We all know it. Like, what the fuck is happening there? Why is Jasper a Confederate soldier?
Why couldn't he be a Union soldier? You know, like
it's so easy.
So easy. Just make him a Union soldier. Yeah, it's so dumb.
Was it the point kind of like because he was the bad guy and now he changed as a person, so therefore vampires are the bad guys, now they can be viewed as the good guys type of thing? That's kind of what first of all, I want to say it's stupid, but like that's kind of what I took away from it.
Yeah, but he was the general of a battle that was won. So it's complete bullshit.
He was the youngest major. I'm looking at the information we know. He was not drafted. He was eager to fight.
He never saw combat, right? I think was what they said.
Yeah, however, he did fight a real battle. This is a time transported commanding. He was found by, turned him into a vampire, lost cause, and a way to provide him with military training and experience. Could have done that with anything else.
Could have been
any other war.
Or any other war too. Any other war is the other big. That's the key point, though. Too. It could have been any other war too. But again, like it's just such pure fantasy that he was a freaking Civil War. Yeah, and like the thing for me too is like he could be like, you know, I was raised in this, but I've learned as I've, you know, like show a little plus side to him.
Yeah,
you know, you could.
You could.
They don't examine it at all. Bella's just like, okay, you were a Confederate. That's fucking fine. That's normal. What a normal thing to run into in the year 2010. Not like, first off, not like, holy fuck, what a useful source of information this is. Maybe I'm being a little too analytical on it, but like...
You're spitting.
You know, all of these people. Oh, holy shit. What great first-hand accounts they would be for a...
As a historian, Bella, I would like to hear what they have to say.
Curious human ever? You don't want to know what fucking World War I was like? Like, oh god.
What did mustard gas taste like? You know,
yeah, I'm sorry. I'm looking at a Reddit thread. In that part of the South at the time, all able-bodied young men served. Good point. The response: yeah, he voluntarily signed up though when he was underage.
Glaring omission.
Yeah, I mean, like there, you know, someone's like many young men were pressured to and expected to enlist. 100% makes perfect sense. Have the character explain that at all. Yep, literally at all.
Acknowledge the fact that he didn't want to serve. Yes, especially now. It's not like his parents. What are you going to tell his parents? Like they've been dead for 150 years. You know, like it's not. Oh, it's so dumb. Like
yeah, I you know, it's like you know, I think if he changed his mind on the topic of states' rights and slavery or whatever the fuck, I don't think his parents would be upset at this point. My parents still love me, and I'm more or less a communist. So, like, you know, what do we do?
I kind of wish Jasper's character sort of had like a lingering hatred towards something from his past. Like, he's just like a changed person throughout, like being immortal, but then he's just like he still has some thing that he just can't let go. I think that would be a great thing for his character.
There's like 1.5 black people in this movie too, by the way. Ashley pointed them both out to me. So maybe we don't know because they didn't show black people for Jasper.
Well, who kills? Yeah, the bad guy of the first movie.
Oh, that's right. Jesus, that's right. I don't remember anything of these movies after a year. So
yeah, some people would say maybe Jasper didn't like what's her name because she was in a mixed race relationship.
Ooh. Oh. Oh God.
I don't see any Rose. No, I forgot. Whatever the bad lady's name is with the red hair who had a name that reminded you that she had red hair. Well, no, isn't she the person in this movie?
Oh, that's right, because they changed the actress. That's what.
Yeah.
It's Jurassic World girl.
It's Bryce
Yes.
Dallas Howard. That you're right. I completely. I think that they're different people because they're two different actresses.
Actors, yes, or actresses, yes. This sidebar. They make every beautiful, beautiful actress in this movie not more hot when they're vampires.
Ooh.
They make I like Bryce Dallas Howard is that's her name, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And she is so like just looks so much better without the vampire stuff going on. And the wig that she had on, or the weave, whatever it was not well made. Again, like this is where I'm like, the production I felt of this movie was noticeably worse than the last ones, other than specifically the big, like, you know, fisticuffs at the end brawl. I don't know if you guys felt similarly, but like I don't know,
I
like
think
the two in the Cullen family are so much prettier without their, in my opinion, without their.
I think everyone in the cult. So I was talking to Kayla about this, and she was like, I was always Team Jacob, and like I think all of like the wolf people are like way hotter, and I think part of that is like the amount of pale they are is like, even if you're into like a very pale complexion, it's like it is over the top. I personally think Rosalie looks fine with it. Alice looks a little sickly, though, is intriguing in a looks like a pale goth girl kind of way. I don't know, but I agree that they're not doing any. Why can't they just put on makeup?
Why can't they just be hot? Why can't they put on too much? I guess, like, I don't know, like.
But I mean, in the context of the movie, I mean, like, because like in the movie they're not. Yeah,
I see. That's a great.
It also
point.
probably would help with the whole fucking glitter thing. You know what? It doesn't matter. Jasper got a much better hairdo. This movie.
Yes, agreed.
That's important to note.
I just gotta say, Alice is a 45 out of 10. I don't care what anybody says.
Have you seen her without the vampire shit on, though? That's my point. Like, she's even more. No, oh, okay. Fair enough.
The vampire makeup stays on.
Sorry, babe. Yeah.
Sorry, babe.
Show me your pussy.
Whoa. Whoa!
It's Vam Pussy was right there. Come on. Like,
I was doing like a Clussy thing from the clown memes, but
where is this going?
Dude, it doesn't. Have you not learned the theme of this episode, Pete? It doesn't fucking matter where it's going. That was my entire point at the beginning. It doesn't. None of this matters.
I forgot Anna Kendrick is in this. There's another one.
Yeah. Okay. Also, the fact that they show Anna Kendrick as some like undesirable, not cool person that Bella wouldn't actually want to be friends with. Fuck you. Okay. She goes on to be the fucking lead singer of an amazing a cappella group, and there is. What do you do, Bella?
Yeah, you ain't shit.
Because it's done some amazing films lately, but yes, fair enough. Oh my god! Do we have another viewer?
Question wait. That
can we talk about Pitch Perfect instead?
Yeah, really quick though. That group is called the Bellas. And a little sort of fun
full circle. Aka, get out of here.
Aka, excuse me.
Yo, have you heard the song by David Guetta?
I remember I was like, look, it has one flaw, and you were like, there's no way it has a flaw, and I was like, no, this scene. And you're like, damn, that's a flaw.
You're right. I feel like we bring this up every Twilight episode. We have to reference the scene in Pitch Perfect where she's taking a shower and was like, have you heard of this, song on YouTube that has 2 billion views that nobody has heard of?
Pat, have you seen Pitch Perfect?
I have seen Pitch Perfect. The shower scene where it's revealed like there's a guy in there the whole time. That scene.
Yes.
Yeah. I can't lie.
I don't even remember that part of it.
I remember watching the movie and having different priorities than what they were saying, I suppose.
Okay. Sick brag, bro.
She's hot. In typical.
Oh, I did not mean it like that.
Yes,
okay, no. I meant I was staring at her.
Oh,
like not. No. Don't put that evil on me. I was doing something much grosser. All right, very much kidding. No, I like the movie. I think the acapella riff-offs, whatever they are really, really clever. I wish that
Yeah, no, they're a fun time.
We needed that in
Um,
Twilight, like an
yeah, we
acapella,
did.
an
I
aka
need-
off against.
As I need to describe the scene though, because
Oh,
Pat doesn't
okay.
know it. So Anna Kendrick is in the shower, and whoever the lead lady, the redheaded one, not the blonde one, comes in and hears her singing "Titanium," which is like a Sia and David Guetta song.
I know that song. Yeah.
So those are two very big people, and the main character. Anna Kendrick, so her bit is like she likes EDM sort of stuff, and like
He likes the
at
DJ.
the time,
yeah.
like at the time that was like I guess a bit cutting edge, but like also only like years before that. But like as far as popular zeitgeist movies, I guess go. And then so she's like, oh, like she starts harmonizing with her to like get her to sing more or something. She's like, and then she like turns around, she's surprised. She goes, "You know David Guetta?" And it's like, yes, of course. That's not even like someone who's big, but like there's plausible tonight. You could do like Deadma or something, but like it's who's like still massively David Guetta, the person who had like multiple #1 charts at this point. Like just anyways, that scene always drives me crazy because it's just so very like fellow kidsy. Like,
Yeah.
how's it going?
Katy Perry? Oh my God.
Yeah. Yes. That is like you would have had to do that or like Taylor Swift or something, and it's just Jesus. But back to the movie we're talking about. This of course being
do we have
Twilight
to?
Eclipse. I do. I have what I consider to be the most important question of this. We learned from the backstory that Jasper was a vampire in the Confederate army, and that the Confederates enlisted other vampires in order to, I don't know, have better soldiers or something. Yep. Not like a bad idea, I suppose. I want to know how they would lose if they had fucking vampires who we can see like one of them could just like massacre like a small city. But does this mean we're in a shared cinematic universe with Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter? Thoughts?
Abe could never tell a lie. Right?
Yeah. Okay. So that's the only way that the vampire Confederates lost was Jasper saw Abe and all of his fucking vampire hunting glory and was like, nope, I'm out. That's oh goodness.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a funny thing to think about.
I feel like it's necessary for the world if the South is playing dirty that we have to have an ace up our sleeve, and I think Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter is a great ace up our sleeve. So I would say yes, it is canon to this world. Head canon.
Okay. Yes. I think that's great. Anyways,
9/11 canon? Like, was this book released after 9/11?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
no, I'm just trying to wonder out loud. I'm sorry. I'm trying to like.
No. It's okay. It's okay. You're allowed to be younger than me and Pete, who were in high school when this book came out.
I was like, I think I was like elementary school because I remember not the first wave of it, but the like middle school was when like the final book came out, I think, and all the girls were reading it, and I was like, I'm going to keep reading Rick Riordan and Percy Jackson,
Captain Underpants.
Or that.
Yeah. You know what?
I
so
read that
actually,
a lot.
I think Eclipse is sort of where it blew up, just judging by when they came out and when I remember people starting to talk about it.
Made more money than Iron Man 2.
That's pretty crazy. It is funny that they came out year to year to year. It reminds you of like the good old days when movies actually had sequels come out not 6 years later. Looking at you, Dune. But yeah, it is very interesting to see be like, oh yeah, in 2010 I was doing this, like 2020, whatever, like all this stuff in my head. I don't know where my thought was going. I'm sorry. Like, it's cool. I don't know. It's just cool to be like nostalgia glasses. Hey, remember Ben? Remember when this? And like shit like that.
Yeah, no, I get it. I remember being in calc and talking to Caitlin Sayers about it. So
I love how you use proper names every time you bring up someone from your past. That's impressive.
So stories are way better if you first last it, and like if you can first middle last it. That's
government name. Okay. Oh yeah.
I don't think I should dox my ex-girlfriend on
the
podcast. So I won't first, middle, and I won't government her.
Whose social security number is
Good chance it starts with a 4. That's all I'm gonna say. Good chance.
Which born in Minnesota? Is that how that works?
I have no idea. Mine starts with a 4. Spoiler alert.
It doesn't work that way anymore. It doesn't. Well, you just made it like 95% easier to guess your social, by the way, by saying that.
Take all my student loan debt, please. Thank you.
Yeah, please. Yeah, really. No, it's very interesting. They used to do. Yeah, do these vampires have social security numbers? Like, how do they sign up for loans and like stuff like that?
Is this the secret that Elon Musk found out when he raided everything? Like that he's like, oh, I can't tell anyone about the dark secrets of the social security thing. It's like it wasn't just that like variable overflow thing from like when they first digitized them and made them all like some weird date like 200 years ago that he thought it was just a bunch of dead people, but it was just like a bunch of people born in the 50s. It was actually the existence of vampires and how they're yeah. What's I wonder what Edward Cullen's pension's like at this point for his World War I enlistment.
Ooh,
probably pretty good, I would think.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Also, there's a giant fucking fight at the end of this movie.
Best scene of the movie, I think. Like again, that's where like most of the budget had to have gone, right? Like, did you guys not like it? Am I alone in that?
I mean, I just mean like, sure. Insofar as like, one, I've never been a big fight fan, right? Like we've been posting that thing about like those anime that we like in our thing for like the last day and a half, and like I've just been stuck on a show that I like the fights in because I'm like I literally can't think of anything. But this is, I don't know, part to me is like how low stakes this was.
Yeah.
Where it was like,
that's fair.
Okay, we're gonna like we're getting invaded by like newbie vampires, which are like stronger. But then, you know, Jasper's like, little did you know, I won the Confederate baby vampire fight club. And why would you want them to kill themselves? It doesn't matter, but that was dumb. Just use them, use all of them. It doesn't matter. It's fine. But like, I don't think like there wasn't a lot of tension. The only tension was like when they found Bella, because Edward is stupid, because they had this whole plan and then they just sort of got rid of that plan, to like angst all over each other. Yeah. But then that lady shows up and we kind of have like a talk no jutsu, but it's like if like Naruto did like a head snap, if he was like, just kidding, bam, after talking about the power of friendship or whatever.
After talking,
but which I guess now that I describe it's pretty cool.
I was just saying, well, to me, I knew that the stakes were not very high. I was like, I wondered if they maybe would kill off like who's the one that we were just gushing over, female vampire, not Eve, Alice, thank you. Yeah, like if they killed Alice or something because her power. Well, because her power was so overpowered that I was like, maybe they kill her or have her get caught up.
Like,
yeah, did you see the Voltari? And they're like, haha, mother.
Oh no, I meant the use of Alice's power in book 4, which is incredibly stupid and dumb.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
it's been pretty dumb this whole series.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. The Cullens are all more strong than the fucking Voltari. At least Edward and Alice.
Yeah.
Being able to see the future is really good, especially when it turns out to be pretty accurate.
Reading minds?
Then Edward can see the present, but like better than everyone else because he can read everyone's thoughts. So
yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. But I guess for me then, the stakes just to finish that thought was like, the reason I liked the fight was I thought the idea of like, oh yeah, they just punched a vampire's head off, and that was what was enough to like decapitate them. Like that was cool. Or some of the moves that they pulled off or the set pieces were more entertaining than Talk No Jutsu was for the rest of the movie like it was. So I guess that's why I enjoyed it. It certainly is not going in my top 5 fights of all time or anything like that. It's just I enjoyed, and the wolves too were pretty cool. Don't really see how they won against the vampires. I guess they kind of like made it easier for them the vampires or the Cullens to kill the vampires by taking them down or beating them up or something, but I don't know. I just
a
fight scene.
It reminded me of Have you seen like the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia clip where they're like beating up kids in the street?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the tension of that fight reminded me of that scene where it's just like you have grown ass, vampires who have been around for hundreds of years versus vampires who are all less than a year old. It's like, yeah, of course they're gonna get mollywomped, like for sure. Like there was, what they needed to do to build the tension is if you've ever played StarCraft, they just needed the Zerg. Like they just needed like instead of like 30 newborns, they needed
3,000.
like 300 or something. Like
Yeah.
they needed to be like a real threat. But it was also crazy that like in this area, I know they mentioned Seattle and everything like that, but it's like part of Forks as well. That they report that there's like in the last year just like 16 murders unsolved. It's like it could be a serial killer. I'm like, what else would it be in this world? Like, it's just so crazy that they just kind of like nonchalantly. It's like, yeah, this is the 16th person that has gone missing in Seattle. It's like, there's a huge problem happening.
It's more than that, I think, by the way, which is I noticed that too. I was like, this would be the FBI would be here by now. Like
massive problem.
Massive.
A population in Forks, by the way, of 3,464. So honestly, if there's like 2 that happened from Forks, Bella's dad getting fired just immediately.
Yeah.
And Bella's dad's only looking for one person. He's only looking for, what's his name, Riley or whatever his name is? Bailey?
The local.
Yeah.
He was the local, yeah.
Yeah.
What a film. That was the guy they tried to talk into.
Yes.
To not killing Bella or whatever. Yeah. Which he was surprisingly easily convinced for the moment. Like that was kind of silly. He also gets dragged off screen and we don't see him die. Like I don't know if that's on purpose for the next movie or something or not, but
nah, he's dead.
And like it's implied. It's implied. It's just I would have liked to have, like, I don't know, we see the freaking vampires decapitate the other ones and do some crazy stuff to like kill them.
I bet
we don't really get to see the wolves actually like F some of them up, you know what I mean? But sorry, go ahead.
I would say I bet if you pause the scene where they're burning all the bodies, I bet you could probably find his clothing in that. I bet that's an Easter egg thing of, I'll have to go and look, but I bet they did something like that. And if they didn't, then they're dumb.
Well, because they burned the girl's Bryce Dallas Howard's character's body.
They burned them all
on the route, but then they burn them separately because they burn her when she's up there on the mountaintop, and then when they get back to like the campsite or whatever, they're burning them, or whatever site it was that they did the battle. It was weird. They were like burning stuff, but it was very clearly logs of wood. So I was like, damn, that's lame that we didn't see. But I guess it's PG-13, right? So they didn't want to show literal burning bodies, I suppose, even though they're not really bodies, but whatever. Did you expect them to, when you first watched this, and if you read the book, I suppose, then did you expect this? Did you expect them to kill the girl in that scene? The little girl that they made surrender or whatever? Because I didn't expect them to kill her, I guess. Like I guess they do it off screen or whatever, it's implied, but I didn't expect that. I thought they were genuinely gonna adopt her.
They did.
Well, they tried to.
Yeah, but I think it's good that how they set up the Voltari for the next film. They're the big bad ruthless group and they don't care. So I think it was a good end scene.
It's a good kick the dog moment, right? Like, you have this girl who you saw get turned at the beginning and be like against this, and then being forced into this situation and like make it through and be like, hey, like I'm willing to make up for what I was forced to do. And unlike Jasper, who volunteered, and
never gonna let that go.
And and had 1.5 centuries to reflect on that decision and didn't. But it sort of just shows that who they're dealing with now is they are not sympathetic. They don't have empathy, and they're tougher than, this group, because she just sort of like fucking Darth Vader force tortures him. Like, Dakota Fanning just sort of goes like, bam, and, she fucking dies in wriggling agony. So I think it's like one. I don't think it's necessarily expected. Like, I think you're right that it's a little unexpected if you're not familiar with it. I can't remember what I thought back in 2010, but I do think it's like a good scene for setting the tone and like who you're fighting and the stakes of your next conflict, which is against the Volturi. So
I guess I should have seen it. I just remembered that they unleashed like an entire tourist group in Rome the last time we saw them on screen. Didn't they like feast on an entire like
like the whole
people?
Vatican or something.
The whole group of like tourists, including children, just got eaten alive in that moment. So I guess I should have expected it, but I thought maybe they would let her like join the fan, like the Cullens would, I guess, stand on business. But it's like you said, it does establish it, and it makes sense why they did it. I was just like wondering, did you see it coming? Like I really didn't know in that moment. Maybe that was like the whole point of it. But yeah, there you go. Got a lot out of this movie. Clearly, as our discussion shows.
That's why I don't think we should break them up, because these conversations are so good, right, Pat?
Man, I gotta say, one, I don't think the next one, and if I have to go one more year with keeping this a secret from Pat, I will be mad.
I will.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. That's where I'm at too. Where it's like, and it's supposed to be a massive cliffhanger. We will do it. I think
executive decision next year. We'll do both parts of Breaking Dawn.
I think we can fit it in.
Split, according to Ashley, and it sounds like Miles too. It sounds like it could have been one movie very easily, but they decided.
Look, this could have been in Breaking Dawn. Like,
well, probably, yeah. Honestly,
if you wanted to split Breaking Dawn, do like condense this to half. Do like the first bit of Breaking Dawn, and then do like a longer Breaking Dawn.
Yep.
But like, if Return of the King can be one movie, so can Breaking Dawn. That's.
Are they to blame for all the?
It's Harry Potter. Return of the King was all in one movie. It's Harry Potter.
No, I didn't mean
honestly.
No, I meant is Twilight to blame. No, I would never blame
it's Harry
Return
Potter.
of the King. Yeah, it's Harry Potter.
Yeah. But honestly, I think Deathly Hallows was better for being split, and it also made them more money. But I also think that it wasn't so worth it to split it that I won't have to deal with all of the bullshit of splitting the last book for every other stupid, like, for fucking Hunger Games. Have you seen how thick those books are? They're like, why would you split that? They're just thick.
And they still left stuff out of Mockingjay, by the way. I'm just saying, because I remember those movies too. Like we
had to try to pump up Jennifer Lawrence's singing career, and I like her as an actress, but I don't know. She didn't really take off as a singer. Why?
Maze Runner 2 didn't get. Or no, wait, Maze Runner didn't even.
Did they even bother finishing Maze Runner?
No, they didn't. They didn't. I think they did Scorched Earth or not Scorched Earth.
Yeah.
Scorched Trials.
Was always like, Maze Runner was like below Divergent as far as like cookie cutter teen dystopian things go.
Divergent. I haven't heard that in a minute.
Yeah, that's a throwback. I loved Maze Runner. I thought Maze Runner was really good. I am also.
Oh yeah, I mean, I look. I'm only speaking to like public perception of it as opposed to any. I have no fucking clue. I didn't read Divergent or Maze Runner.
In Maze Runner, they use the word changeling as like a descriptor of someone. And for whatever reason, my like 6th or 7th grade brain, even though I'm a very good reader and like linguistically, I'm pretty good. For whatever reason, I couldn't understand what that word was. Because I just read it and I guess I'd never said it. So I kept reading it as like changeling or something. I can't even remember how badly I understood what the word was until like I looked back years later and was like, oh my God, I'm so stupid. Like, how did I not get that they just meant changeling? I was like, what is this foreign word? It must be because they're British, or it must be like I could not grasp it. I felt very dumb. Yeah. So speaking of Maze Runner, what are your final thoughts on Twilight Saga Eclipse, Pete, and your final score?
So while I love this franchise, I think it's fun to think back on my early high school days / early college days and reminisce of the teen angst that I had when I was forced to go to the movies and watch this with my girlfriend. I think through, Stockholm Syndrome, I really did grow to appreciate this franchise. But Eclipse, I will never get behind. I just don't like this film at all. It feels more of like a 2-hour long episode than a 2-hour long movie. It just lost some of its whimsy, sort of like what made Eclipse or what made Twilight sort of fun to just bullshit with. I feel like it took it never really takes itself seriously, but like some of the moments felt they're like they were trying to do a little bit too much, and I just wanted it to be the vampire story that New Moon and Twilight were. Yeah, just not a good film. I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna give this a 4.
There you go. There you go. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, Miles, are you ready to give your final thoughts as well?
Yeah, I mean, look, is Pete correct? Yes. Do I care? Not really.
Who cares? No one
I
cares.
think exactly. I think at this point, I have I've just accepted it. I have accepted the world we live in, right? And this is it. And like, I think, frankly, this movie doesn't really do anything worse than the first 2 movies. It just does it the same. And like, okay, but some things I don't like about the series, right? Like this is only like maybe a 6 out of 10 on the toxic relationship scale, as opposed to the first 2, which is like a 10 out of 10. You know, I like Taylor Lautner's haircut. I like Jasper's haircut. I like some of the cheesy scenes where they're like, "Look at Taylor Lautner, he worked out." Like I kind of like the campy moments that they have in this. I don't know what I don't really give these things 6s. I think I'll give this a 6 too. Just whatever.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't care. 6 out of 10.
Alrighty. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm closer to Pete on this one. I thought it was worse, noticeably worse, at least in terms of my enjoyment compared to the other 2 movies in the past. Not that I suppose is saying very much. I'm excited for the next one though, because then it'll be done, and also all these secrets that have been kept from me for most of my adult life apparently will no longer have to be kept. So I'm curious to see where it goes from here. I guess I want to know more about the werewolves and like their backstory. It's funny too. The werewolf chief is a very famous native actor. We didn't comment on that earlier. I recognized him immediately. I was like, oh my god, he's on like Yellowstone and like all these other
He
very big
is on
shows.
Yellowstone. Oh
Yeah,
my god. Yeah.
He's the one who at the end,
He
yeah,
negotiates the deal or whatever. Yeah.
Mhm.
That is him. Wow.
Yeah, no, and he's in so many. He is like the classic, like, oh, we need like a chief leader looking native person. He is the one that
It's like the guy who's in like he plays the Mexican guy in every film. He's in like the Fast and the Furious. He's like the Mexican guy, but he's in that in like 30 movies. That's him for yeah. That's so funny.
it's crazy how many movies he's been in that you would be like, oh my god, that was him. Yeah.
Yep.
Which to be fair, a lot of the actors, they did not pull out any stops for the cast in this movie. It's pretty impressive. Like all around, I would say.
The soundtrack is killer too. Again,
Yeah,
they
too.
crush it with that. Yeah.
It is a good soundtrack. Again, not my style of music, but it's like generally, but like it fits the movie for sure. Dad's the GOAT as always. Love him so much. Best character in the movie by far, and hope nothing bad happens to him in the final movie. Because I would be very upset. Is it Clark? Is that his name? Kent? Clark? No, that's Superman. What am I
Clark
saying?
Kent. That's his
Yeah.
name. His name is Clark Kent.
Where is he? God damn it. Whatever. The dad.
Charlie?
Charlie. Thank you.
Yeah.
God, Charlie Swan. I got there eventually by looking at
Oh, I
that
thought you
movie.
were joking.
No, I could not remember his name. Again, this movie goes in one ear and out the other half the time, and like what sticks
You
is
know,
what
wait,
I talk about.
why does he not like Edward?
Why doesn't Charlie?
Yeah.
Protective dad, single dad.
Yeah,
vibe,
but
I
he's
guess.
like, get with Jacob. But like, Edward comes from a family of 2 doctors, and like, I'm just saying, he's also
Well,
like a
Because the
virtuous
chief's his
owner,
boy.
so-
He's for one, the Chiefs friendly and they're familiar,
That's true.
and the Ed and the Cullens have like a negative like kind of stigma attached to them too, do they not? Like
Yeah,
from like,
'cause they're inhuman monsters. That's a good point.
well, there's that, but like they also do just get that. Aren't they suspects of the murder in the first movie or something like that? Like I don't know, maybe I feel like he has pretty valid reasons, but he also does come around on him at the end there when Edward starts talking about his traditional values or whatever. It's pretty funny watching Charlie.
That reminded me so much of. I will never forget this moment in my life. So I mean, I was in high school. I went to Catholic high school. We had just gotten purity rings. I was a very big rule follower growing up, and I was at a Patriots game. It was the Pats versus the Jets. It was Brett Favre quarterbacking the Jets. In a game he won in overtime, but it had a sick Randy Moss toe tap in it as well to bring the game to overtime. I don't know if you remember that game, Pat, but this would have been like circa 2008, 2009, something like that. It might have been the Matt Castle year.
Pat was 6 when that happened.
I was 10.
Closer than I thought.
I was like 15.
I'm trying to remember.
He's like,
I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, but he's like, is that ring what I think it is? It's like, yeah. And he's like, good. I like that. And I was just like, I don't know. For whatever reason, that stuck with me forever. And
you're pure.
So pure. And, Bella's dad's the same way.
Yeah. Classic, like, oh, it just lets the kid in, but it sits on the porch with a shotgun. Like, I don't know, having the curfew, though, he does.
That happened to me. I got the rifle pulled on me as like a demonstration that it existed. Yep.
I'm so thankful I haven't had that ever.
Me neither.
Yeah, it's not the way to.
They were pulling it on the wrong partner in that relationship, by the way. It doesn't matter. I wasn't trying to get
Say it with your chest.
Yeah, I don't know. I was a lame teenager.
And on that note, that concludes my thoughts on Twilight Saga, the Eclipse, or whatever this is. I gave it a
no.
Eclipse?
We need this. We need Twilight the Eclipse, which is an infamous scene from Berserk, Pat.
You're right. Yeah, this is my favorite piece of Eclipse media, is what I should say that I have consumed. Right? There we go. I gave it a 3 for those wondering, and for Trent editing. Thank you, Trent. Sorry, this is a tough one. Tough episode.
Wait, guys, I need to say, we've broken tradition here. Normally, we give these stupid numbers. Like,
you're
with
right.
decimals and stuff.
Okay.
Like, except for Pete, who gave it a 10. He gave New Moon a 10.
Hell yeah.
I gave it a 7.
New Moon got me laid. Of course that's a 10.
7.3 repeating. Pat gave it actually just a flat 4.
I gave it a 8 fourths or 5 10.
Yeah. It was. I couldn't write down whatever it was.
Ooh, okay.
I will give it mine a 3.141.
I was gonna make that
297. Well, mine's closer to 3. That's why I was like that's why I did that. So fair enough. All right, let's do some math though. Let's or can I give it? Wait, can I give it I? For Matt,
yeah. You can do whatever you want. This again, as I've stated since the beginning, it's technically not my show. Like this Peak podcast and everything. This doesn't matter. This episode doesn't matter. None of this matters. You can do whatever you want.
I over pi.
Oh,
decimal score.
I'll give mine 2 to the power of 2.
Okay, I'm gonna do 2 up arrow 2.
What does that mean?
Don't worry about it.
All right, let me Google
That's 2 to the 2 squared.
There's also 4.
Is that 16?
According to Google, it is also 4.
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. I was hoping I was being smart. I couldn't remember my
Does
math.
up arrow?
So if you add another up arrow, like if there's 3 up arrows, it like the more you do, it gets pretty crazy pretty quick.
It's exponential. So yeah, that makes sense, right?
But I was just trying to give a score in our range in a stupid way. So
okay, so our final score is 4 plus I over pi divided by 3 is our final score of
good.
The Twilight the Eclipse. Yeah.
Do you have like a rational number to express that?
You have to put out a number, otherwise Trent's going to put up a giant question mark on the screen.
Okay, you know what? I'll Wolfram it. Okay.
So it should just be the calculator, and then it's 8008.
Yeah, Trent, just put up
One,
boobs in the calculator format. That's what we gave
Wait,
it.
can you wait? We can't do irrational number because there's only one eye. We literally can't. You know what? It's fine.
It's fine.
That's the point.
We gave Eclipse boobs out of 10.
Boobs out of 10.
Boobs on a calculator out of 10.
So like
Compared to-
8,008.
8,000, 80,005 or
85. Yeah, 80,085. Okay.
Out of 10. Yes. Wait, sorry, 80,085 on a calculator
Out of 10.
out of 10.
Okay.
Yes.
Which compared to its IMDb rating of a 5.1 out of 10, which by the way, a lot lower than I would have thought. I guess people didn't like this one very much, which I guess isn't surprising to me, but surprising to me in the sense of like the general audience.
What are the first couple?
Let's see.
9.7 for Twilight.
Why is there no simple sequel or prequel button on?
Like, because there was a period of time where hating Twilight was like very vogue.
Oh, New Moon is 4.8.
And Twilight is 5.4.
And Breaking Dawn's 5. And then Breaking Dawn Part 2 is 5.6. So the highest rated one is yet to come.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
So,
oh, man.
Yeah, these aren't exactly popular movies, but also like they are the type of movies like a bunch of edgy teenage boys would have review bombed on their IMDb back in the day. Like Pete.
No. I was never edgy. I was never edgy. Never. On my mama.
I see a lot of ones, according to the reviews, a lot of ones, a lot of 10s, and then primarily 5, 6, and 7 are the numbers that are given for reviews, according to IMDb at least. So that's interesting. There you go. All right, that's our review of Twilight the Eclipse.
I need it.
Griffith did nothing wrong.
Twilight Golden Age, and then I need Twilight Eclipse. The Eclipse.
Would Griffith? So Griffith would be a vampire, right? Or would Griffith be? He kind of looks like a vampire.
I mean, if we had to put him in one of these casts, he would be a vampire.
Okay, cool.
And Guts would be a werewolf. And Casca would be Bella.
Yes. It's all, everything is Berserk, everything is Twilight.
Wow.
All of that makes perfect sense. Don't think about it too hard.
Yep, especially if you
I won't. Don't worry.
If you haven't read Berserk, don't worry about it. That's what happens, I promise.
Exactly. There we go. But yeah, so that wraps up our April Fool's episode where, surprise, we got you. We weren't actually reviewing Twilight Eclipse. We just joked around.
Surprise.
Yay! Surprise.
This episode's dropping late April Fools.
That's also very funny, true, that it's dropping in like 2
I don't know how to plan things. Woo!
You're not alone. You're not alone. But Miles, we voted on shows that we wanted when you were not here last. There was 3 options, one of them being Interspecies Reviewers, the other being My Happy Marriage, and the other being Medalist Season 2. Which of those won, and what are we watching for 2 weeks from now?
Yeah, so in third was Interspecies Reviewer, earning its 5th legacy point. So
still got last with that many legacy points. It's never getting reviewed.
That's not how that works. It is a matter of time. Entropy comes for us all, Pete. And
oh, fuck! I can't make that episode. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. I agree.
You'll have to record without me.
In second, with a surprise performance, in my opinion, a very valiant effort, is My Happy Marriage, earning its 2nd legacy point. And then in first place by elimination, as we only had 3 options, it will be Medalist. Season 2, I'm very excited to watch this. I love me some Medalist.
Hell yeah.
So yeah.
I am stoked that this one, I mean, I would have been happy with either 2 of the 3 options, but I'm very, very excited to watch Medalist Season 2, and it is done airing now, or it's going to be
finished. Yep.
Oh yeah, it finished last week or several weeks ago. What the hell? Oh my god.
There's only 9 episodes.
Oh, that makes more sense. Okay. But yeah, I can't wait to watch it. And like we only watched it like a month ago, I think. Well, no, more than that, but it feels like
it was like 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah, so pretty recently. So I'm excited. But yeah, let's talk about what we're nominating nominating for the second week of May, also known as a week after Cinco de Mayo episode. What have you got, Pete? What show do you have that fits that theme?
The
The week after Cinco de Mayo week theme.
Okay, wait. I got it. I got mine.
I guess El Condor Pasa wears a luchador mask, and luchadors are from Mexico, so I have to do Uma Musume season 3. Is that one? No, I'm kidding. It's a show that got a lot of hype when it first came out. I think it kind of fizzled, but it's getting a second season, and it looks really promising. And it's a show that I wanted to watch last year, but I didn't get around to it. I'm gonna nominate Sentenced to Be a Hero.
Ooh, okay. Very interesting. Miles, what about you? What are you nominating on your return?
The craziest thing, just it doesn't matter. So, of course, in honor of Cinco de Mayo, I will be nominating Mobile Fighter G Gundam so that we can watch Tequila Gundam. I won't be doing that. One that's too long, but two, oh buddy, Tequila Gundam is, if you imagine the most stereotypical Gundam that is named Tequila Gundam you could possibly think of, and then you're wrong. It's more. Just Google Tequila Gundam real quick.
I can't wait. I'm very curious.
Is,
no, not Tequila Sunrise. Tequila Gundam.
Yeah.
Oh my god! No way. There's no way. There's no
Brent,
way.
Please put Tequila Gundam on the screen.
Oh god, there's no way. It's so bad. Even his little trident,
dude, the hat,
like añejo leaves.
The hat is so good.
With the cactus pauldron and like wrist guards.
Oh
unbelievable,
my god.
Is it not?
It's the best. I love Tequila Gundam.
See.
Comprende. I too will be nominating something that has recently wrapped up that some people in our Discord really like, and they keep telling me to watch, and then I'm like, I'm a busy man. But it'll be Shibuyugi playing death games to put food on the table.
Well, I know what Eagle's voting for.
Yeah, I just pander to Eagle. That's it's been my voting strategy.
It's a it would be a great show to talk about.
Yeah, I think I'm honestly pretty curious about what I think, because I could see myself going either way on it based off of the one episode.
You would love it. You would love it.
Would I? Okay.
You would 100% love it.
Oh, good. Love to see it.
All right.
And if you don't like it, you're lying to yourself.
Okay. Good. What the Sentence to Be a Hero has above a fucking 8 on.
Dude, apparently it's good. That's why I want to check it out.
It doesn't seem like it would. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little curious because, like, I'd put a lot on the fact that just looking at it, not to judge a book by its cover, but I do that all the time, actually.
And people said it like it's not weird, like it doesn't have weird shit. It's just like a good, like we're in this like fantasy boom with like Free Ren and Dungeon Meshi and Witch Hat. Like this is like people like it on the same level. So that's why I want to check it out.
On the same level as Free Ren.
There are a lot of people that fucking love Sentence to Be a Hero.
Okay.
Well, and then we can debate whether they're right or wrong.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's almost the point of this entire club, right? And this, okay. And Mommy's in here. That's cool.
Which one?
This knight lady. But I can't pronounce her name. She's a knight.
Yeah.
She's got black hair, red eyes, full set of plate armor.
Big fan.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know anything about her. And Sentenced to Be Here. I don't know. Her name is like I don't know how to pronounce
her last name, which
Kiva.
I also can't pronounce.
Yeah, I also pronounced that incorrect. Kivia.
Kivia. Let's go with that.
What's this in Kiba Yugi? Is that what you said?
No,
Shiba Yugi?
This is in Sentenced to Be a Hero.
And
the other one is playing death games to put food on the table.
Interesting. Pataush? Yeah, I don't know. That's a god?
No, well,
let's watch the show and we'll find out.
Oh, don't click spoilers, Patrick. You shouldn't be spoiling yourself on that.
Pat, what are you nominating?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. I'm nominating My Happy Marriage again because it does seem to perform better than I would expect, and it looks
Good show.
fun. It looks cute. It looks like a show that I would enjoy quite a bit. And we were just talking about age gap relationships, and I don't know if this show has or if that show has one or
Nope.
not, but it seems like it would. Okay, let me rephrase that. Oh, we were just talking about problematic or power dynamic relationships, and it seems like this show has that in some level.
Not really. I mean,
Not
It's an
the
arranged
marriage
marriage.
itself. Yeah, no, but he's actually pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, he's like a great guy.
Well, that'll be fun to see because that's the best outcome for everybody involved, right? That they have a happy marriage, I suppose,
yep.
right? So there we go.
Yeah, the basic premise of the show is that her family sets her up with this guy thinking it's going to be fucking awful for her because he has a reputation, and then he's like, I'm fucking awesome. But then all the stuff around them is like pretty bad, and that helps them bond, and like they definitely go through like arranged marriage issues and stuff, but they like learn how to communicate, and it's a good show. I like it.
Yeah, we should watch it then. Vote for it. Vote for it.
Well,
please.
I've already
That'll be
seen
fun.
it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Unfortunately for me,
I know
always
it's
a
the
little
problem
down
for
on the
you
list.
too. I know. I get it. I get it. It always is the problem with a lot of my shows that I want to watch from this season. It's like I should just watch it on my own or something, but that's boring. Why would I do that?
I need a new co-host, so if you want to watch some shows and come review them with me, you can come back.
Sorry, I need to resume my professional golfing career.
Fair.
Don't have the time for that. But I would love to discuss. What are we watching again? Oh yeah, 2
Medalist.
weeks from now, Medalist season 2, because that wraps up Watch Club for this week. Pete, take it away.
If you have made this far and you want to support us, the best way to do so, like, comment, subscribe, leave a review on whatever platform you are watching or listening to us on, or if you want to be generous, give me a tier 2 sub on YouTube. Low cost, $500 a month. Next week, I think I'm either doing a game or I'm doing a first impressions episode. You'll get something next week. Don't worry, it'll be happening. Otherwise, if you're here for Watch Club in 2 weeks, we will see you for Medalist season 2. Thanks, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.